Good day. A hearty hello and a high-o silver to you this glorious day. This glorious day that we are alive. I found out today that an old friend of mine I've known for years and years and years passed away, who suffered a most arduous, horrible death, in my opinion, and life towards the end. And I've been, as you can imagine, kind of thinking about this, kind of stopping and saying, well, let me think about this. Let's put things into perspective. Whenever something happens to you, whenever somebody that you know dies, passes away, when something is provided to you, stop for a second and think, what can you learn from this? That's all. You don't have to change any direction. Just stop. Call it prayer, call it reflection, call it whatever you want. I don't know, but just call it something. But recognize this. Recognize this ephemeral, evanescent little world that we live in right now. This thing that you know of right now. As far as you know this. This is it. I told you yesterday, if you listened in the evening, Mrs. L and I went to, we had lunch with some dear friends. And we happened to go, it was very interesting. We had lunch on a very interesting place. It was called, it's in New Jersey, called Lake Hopatcong. It's the largest freshwater lake in New Jersey. And we went up, it's near Delaware or whatever. It's very, very nice. People are out and about. It was a beautiful day. And we were there at this restaurant enjoying ourselves. And this fellow came up to me. And he said to me, this young man, he says, excuse me, are you, I think I told you this. Well, I told you this yesterday, but if you didn't, I'm going to tell you again. He says to me, excuse me, are you Michael? And that's my Christian name, of course. I said, yes. He said, your mother's on the phone. And just for a second, and I want to take life and just to compact or expand upon certain moments. Just for 1 second. Almost like that second when you wake up out of a dream, when you're not really awake and you're not you're just in this twilight, this translational, transitory, transitional consciousness. Just for a moment, that's what I was. It went, what? And I realized immediately this was a mistake. But during this period of time, which seemed like a long time, if you think about it, I thought to myself, could it be? Could it be my mother, my beloved mother, my late mother is on the phone? No, but just for 1 second, there existed the possibility. There existed at least a situation. Just the thought process of what if she could be on the phone? And then I'm thinking to myself, and I've been in this, well, where is she? Why isn't she on the phone? Where is she? I don't want to hit you with this first thing in the morning, but I love this. Well, where did she go? I don't understand. Why do I have to pick up the phone? Well, she's dead. Well, her corporeal sense is dead. What about her spirit? What about her soul? What about whatever it is? And I told you about this Hameroff and Roger Penrose and the quantum physicists at the Max Planck Institute believe that information of who we are contained in the protein-based microtubules, which is basically the lattice work of cellular formation, and our information is contained at the quantum subatomic level in microtubules, and that when we die, they are traversed, released like pollen, so to speak, into the universe. And if for some reason you're resuscitated back, it comes back with you. The point being that you, a quantified, replicable, condensed version of you, and we can argue, what is you? You mean you, hair, eyes, hair, whatever. But you is contained therein. And it makes me think, this is beautiful. This is what religion is. But it's a bunch of people who are not religious in the least. And then, I want you to throw this in, then through this connection with AI and AGI, when my friend that I've known, he's my age, we've since forever, if during the course of his life there can be some form of connection, like almost like, think of it like a USB port or something, where his microtubular essence can be transpositioned into something else. Maybe he can live on as a hologram, as a voice, as a presence, because artificial intelligence is going to take what you think you know and blow it up into levels of mind-boggling. You can't even grasp what this means. You can't grasp it. What does this mean? What? Yes, to have him, by virtue of this connectivity, a port, some type of a... Remember in the old days we'd go from album to cassette, and then cassette to this, and then maybe to DVD, and then there was... You take something and you merely traverse it into something else. Listen to what I'm saying before we get into this, and I want you to understand this. I want you to spend every waking moment of your time on every YouTube channel you can to understand and grasp the notion of AI. Artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence. I don't care who they are. If somebody's talking about it, you listen. Listen to what they're saying. Ben Goetzel, Goetzel, Ray Kurzweil, Lex Friedman does some wonderful things. Max Tegmark, Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is so he's important. Listen to what I'm saying. Please don't dismiss what I'm saying. Listen to what I'm saying. Listen to me. This is something that you're going to have access to. In the old days, whenever there was something scientific, it was somebody else was doing it. Oh, look, we're going to the moon. Well, that didn't really affect you. Oh, look, they're splitting the atom. That didn't really affect you. Oh, look, there's an atom bomb. That didn't really, well, it affected you, but theoretically. But this is something that you're going to have right now. Even with ChatGPT, I'm looking at this and I'm just, I can't. This is not a machine. This is intelligence. And then you are going to have to figure this thing out. It blows my mind. It's incredible where you are now. Think about this. I'm talking to you. You're listening to me. You might be listening later. There are many levels to you. There's who you are now. There's you that you remember. There's you that you think you remember. There is you vis-a-vis your family, your children, your hopes, your wishes. There's so much. And all of us have been looking for the longest time for something maybe spiritual, maybe you might be doing it through God, you might be doing it through the Bible, and I'm thinking that's great. Well, but I'm headed towards the same thing you're looking for. And there's something called singularity. And when singularity hits, when the level of artificial intelligence, artificial general intelligence, hits no matter how many times I've tried to explain this, it's... I love to see other people who have spent more time. Technological singularity is a hypothetical future point at which technological growth becomes uncontrollable and irreversible, resulting in unforeseeable changes to human civilization. It's almost like the singularity that exists at the black hole level, or the singularity that exists prior to the Big Bang. It's this moment where everything blows up. It boggles my mind. I love when my mind boggles. I love that. UFO extraterrestrial talk used to kind of sort of do this, where I was thinking about electrogravitic thing, and I don't know what happened. It was like, okay, but then I kind of got, I don't know. But when I first got into it, not so much the evidence, but just the thought of it. When I was a kid, and I first noticed this, and they said, God always was. That blew my... I love that. Wow. God always was. God always was. You mean he didn't begin? No. You mean... what? He always was? He always was. How can something always be? Always was. That's just... I remember as a kid thinking, this is great. And while other people, well, nobody really cared about that, I said, well, I want to talk more about that. He always was. He always was. No beginning, no beginning. So there was never a time when you can go back where God never was. Never was. Always was. No beginning of God. How old is God? You can't gauge God. That's the one that got me. There's no age. What do you mean? Well, age, we talk about years. You know, revolutions around the sun, but there was no sun. There was no nothing. There was no nothing. Well, what did God do for the longest time? I don't know. I mean, whoa. That's what I loved. Loved it. Talks of infinity and that kind of got it. Later on, particle physics came along, and then the quantum guys came along, and the Schrodinger's cat, and then the electron split thing, which is bilocation. Actually, before that, in Catholic school, saints amazed me too because of the stories, but I would see through the storyline. Well, that changed, and I've been kind of like, and now AI came along. Oh my God. And here's the best part. Listen to me. It's just this year. There's always been talk about AI, but not like this. It's not like this. This has accelerated. So I don't want to belabor the point, but I want you to do me a favor. I want you to listen to me. Nobody's going to hand this to you. Don't expect MSNBC or Fox News or Ainsley Earhart or anybody else to sit there and explain this to you. It will take you forever to understand it. And every time you learn something, I want you to learn how to read. I want you to learn how to learn. I want you to learn how to learn how to learn. I want you to learn how to read. And I want you to say, I'm not sure. Keep doing it. YouTube is a wealth of information. Some of the greatest minds ever are talking to you. These are lectures. These are lectures from the greatest minds. And even they say, I don't understand this. When Richard Feynman used to say, I don't even understand quantum mechanics. Richard Feynman, who figured out how to be a safecracker just for the heck of it. And I always want you to think about this. This is your religion. Listen to what I'm saying. You were put on this. You're a human being, and you're sensate. You're able to understand and appreciate. You're able to think and to remember and know colors and references and shades. You're supposedly the most the greatest intelligent life form on the planet. Well, you're not anymore. Not even close. But you're human. Then you're going to say, well, what does human mean? What you're able to do is you have to think for yourself. It's up to you. I want you to do something else. I want you to stop for a second. Everybody talks about being a, Republican or, well, maybe you are, but I don't even know what that means. American. We're an American. Well, no. I want you to read something here. This is the book that takes. I've been studying this forever, for 40 years. Really going into it, reading the case, and I'm going back and reading and reabsorbing just beautiful things. Marbury, McCulloch against Madison, all these great cases. But I want you to read something with me, and I want you to listen to this. And it's been said before, but it's important to. This is in the Bill of Rights. And if you ever get the chance to go to Philly, please see the Constitution Center. There's a bunch of lefties who run it, but what are you going to do? Lefties don't bother me. You know what bothers me? People who don't have an opinion. That bothers me a lot. But listen to this. Okay. This is the most important. I want you to find this out. This has been said many, many times. It's not just me. I'm not the only person ever to think of this, but I want you to listen to this. I want you to tell me. Tell me what is the most important word in this sentence. Congress shall make no law respecting an establishment of religion, well, forget that, or prohibiting the free exercise thereof, or abridging the freedom of speech. Abridging the freedom of speech. Did you hear it? Did you hear that one word? Did you hear that one word? Abridging the freedom of speech. And the first time I heard this, I thought, okay, no, you don't understand that. Abridging the freedom of speech. Okay, I give up. Why is that so important? Because it doesn't grant you the freedom of speech. It acknowledges the freedom of speech. It says these are negative laws, negative guarantees. They tell you what the government can't do. Positive laws give you rights. This is different. This says the government can't do that. You have the freedom of speech. You have it. It's natural. It exists. This is what Madison and these guys, they thought about this. And it doesn't seem like much. It's just it's an article, limiting article, delimiting. No. Stop for a second. You are imbued, you are guaranteed with a freedom of speech that I don't have to give you. I don't have to tell you, and you have the right. No. And the first thing they said was, the very first thing that these, after they realized, after the Articles of Confederation and were on this, and then they came up with the Constitution, they said, well, what about the freedoms? Oh yeah, you're right. The very first thing they said, and they thought nothing of it. You got to understand something. You have a freedom of speech, and you are being told, you are being conditioned, you are being acclimated, you are being habituated to the idea that you have no say in this, that you can't, that you've got to ask permission. Can I say this? Is this okay? Is this disinformation? I'm sorry. Can I say this? Can I say this? Is this all right for me to say? Do you mind if I say this? Just let me know what I can say. No. I'm sorry. What is going on here? So let me remind you of a couple of things. Number one, to recap this, 19 minutes into this. You are a brilliant person. You are a brilliant person who has never had an education, correct education. And what I mean by that is not what you've learned, but the ability to sit and to explore and to say, no, wait. Think about this. Think. No, wait. We're not going yet. Think about this. What if I could take Grandma and plug Grandma into the wall? What? Wait. What is Grandma? What am I? Where do I go? When I die, do I disappear? Remember object permanence? Remember Piaget? Remember kids, peekaboo? Teaching kids peekaboo? Remember when something is not there, it is a concept we don't get. I will never, ever understand, and please don't take this the wrong way, why people have to go to a cemetery to look at somebody. I do not understand that. I do not understand that. Well, that's the final resting place. I understand what that means. Why don't you go to the hospital where they die? Why don't you go to the room? That's the last place. What is this hole you dug here? What does this have to do with anything? That's where that's where your loved one left the earth, right there. Let's go back to that hospital room. No, we can't go there. And I'm not trying to mock this. I'm not trying to mock. I'm pleased. But I don't understand it. I don't get it. Where do you think, what do you think life after that is? What do you think this is? What is intelligence? What is being a human mean? What is this? I don't get this. I don't understand this. And yesterday was so weird when they say your mother's on the phone. Mother's always on the phone. She's right here. I don't understand. And this is not about religion or God. This is like it's here. Because what is it? When you hear a song and they stop playing the song, does the song go away? No. It's with you forever. It's there. It is. You don't have to hear it. It's there. Is this making it? Am I going? I don't want to get too much into this, but I want to share this with you. There's more to us than just pointing out Tucker Carlson stories and Bobby Kennedy stories and did you hear about this and oh, the immigration is this and you can't buy gas stoves in New York. You understand that, right? You understand this. I want you to build and develop your spiritual sense. I want you to think more about your intellectual side. I want you to think all the time about responding to something that somebody else makes you respond to. You determine what it is. And today, as you start off the lecture, I want you to think about these two things. I want you to think about this today. Think about the people who have left. Think about what it is. How can we are going to bring them back to life, sort of, because they've never died. And when you've got Max Planck Institute, a bunch of atheists in Berlin, or wherever the hell you are, Munich, and they're telling you, no, this isn't about God. This is about something that's tangible. The reintroduction, the reapplication of life. Do you understand how fascinating this is? My God. Oh. And you want me to watch Fox and Friends? I don't think so. And remember what you are. And to all of our dear friends around the world who are not Americans, I say to you, I think this involves a natural law. Your ability to say what you want. I'm sorry for that. I hope you don't mind me saying it, because there's more to me and there's more to us than just always pointing out, right, did you hear about this? Did you hear about this? Because there is something about you. I'm telling you, the older you get, you realize there's more to life. There's more to what's going on, and understand things. When something happens to you, when my friend dies, when little moments happen, ask yourself, stop and say, what am I doing? How am I intellectually, spiritually, emotionally? And I know people who have no depth whatsoever. They never think about this. Now, let me say something else to you. Two things are happening right now, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why. I can't explain it. Why did the Beatles come about? I don't know. What was so great about the Beatles? I don't know. Maybe it was the timing. Were they really that good? Well, weren't other people doing the Beatles? Some sort of. And you can, after the fact, go back. But there was a lot of things. Their brilliance, but also the time. Bobby Kennedy Jr. and Tucker Carlson right now are forging together, and more people right now. Everybody I'm talking to. What do you think about Tucker? You think this is something, don't you? Yeah. Then it's something for me. If you think Tucker means something, it means something to me. If you think this is some watershed moment, it means something to me. If you do, good for you. Good for you. Good for you. Excellent. If that's what that means to you, this is something which I find to be so incredibly interesting. Why is Tucker Carlson so important to people? Why do people think that I just did two videos, one on Bobby Kennedy Jr. and the CIA, which I'll get to in a moment, which I find so interesting. We'll get to that in a moment. Because I'm looking back and saying, oh, is this what got you? Do you remember, does anyone of you wonderful, wonderful people remember in hang on a minute, the year was 1971. Remember this, honey? Jesus Christ Superstar. Jesus Christ Superstar. I was 13. You were 4, I think. No, I was 13 years old. In a Catholic school. And everybody's, we're doing our thing like, okay, here we are. What are we doing? Well, we're in Catholic school. Okay. Doing this Catholic Christian thing. Okay. And by the way, most people don't know this, and I'm going to tell you this, but some people told me, and I don't want to in any way suggest this, please don't take this the wrong way, but the particular type of the course outer work of the album was coarse. So that when some people, I was told this, used to sift certain tobacco-like products, the particular grain of this, if held to different angles, would allow seeds, stems, the detritus of this sifting to be. So Jesus Christ Superstar, too many, from what I've heard, from what I remember, people told me, I was just a kid, I was in the 8th grade, I don't know anything about it, but I heard older brothers, and that was a favorite. I'm just saying. This, of course, is something people don't know today because what they are ingesting is killing them. Because I don't know what this is. All of a sudden, Jesus Christ Superstar went nuts. And I remember the priests are saying, and the nuns are, well, what's the big deal? It's Jesus. I know. I'm a priest. I'm a nun. I'm a whatever. Yeah, but no, this is Angel of Jesus Christ Super. I remember one time we did like First Friday. We used to do this thing. We had to go to Mass. First Friday. Okay, we'll go to Mass. I remember when they opened up that Jesus Christ, the whole place is like, wow, wait a minute, something's happening here. And then Godspell. Remember Godspell, honey? It was like, it's okay, like a knockoff. Then Time Magazine said, the Jesus movement. Remember what the Jesus sign was? One way. That was the sign. Remember the ecology peace sign? It was a peace sign. It was green, but it had that middle rung of the crosshairs or whatever it was. Anyway, this was it. Lasted about a week, but this was it. All of a sudden. And I remember people at the time were saying, what are you so excited about? What? We've been around since Constantine. What do you mean? You just discovered Jesus? Yes, it's cool. And I remember one time, I was invited to go to this. I might have been like in freshman in high school. This guy used to go, his name was Joey. He used to cut my hair, and he says, you want to come to this thing? And I went to this, because I was really open-minded. And I went to this guy's house, and they're eating, and they bring out their, he gave me a Bible, it's all written in. I'm thinking, I didn't really get into it, but it was all over, it was a movement, and it started with Jesus Christ Superstar. That's it. Now, granted, people would say, that's ridiculous. It was there the whole time. You're just pointing to it now, and, you just recognized it. But it was huge. And it was cool. And I thought, okay. And people were trying to find, well, these kids with their long hair. But it's Jesus. Oh, yeah, you're right. Well, maybe that's okay. And then I kind of petered out a little bit. Not Christianity, but the movement. Okay, why do I say that? Because all of a sudden, It was that. And the momentum started the momentum, which started the momentum. It's a little push. Tucker Carlson. All of a sudden, people are saying, he speaks the truth. He doesn't say anything. No. He speaks the truth. If you think he's good, I've got somebody. I don't want to hear anybody else. You want to hear some really good stuff? I've got some Carol Quigley. I don't want to hear about that. No, it's Tucker Carlson. Uniparty. This is from, don't you remember? Don't you want to hear any? How about any Smedley Butler? No, it's Smedley. I want to hear Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson is it. Okay. Tucker Carlson is Jesus Christ Superstar. He all of a sudden, he says, whoa, he's going up against Fox. Now, the people who hated Fox, liberals, progressives, whatever you want to call these people, they hate Fox. And now you've got the Tucker folks who say, we're leaving Fox too. We're cut because you're Fox. So now you've got the liberals, and I'm going to, forgive me for using these terms. I'm just going to use these terms. You've got the liberals over here. And then we've got what? We've got these expats from Fox News. And they're kind of getting together. Wait a minute. Can they both, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Could that be it? Could be. Then we have something else that's happening. Now we've got Bobby Kennedy Jr. So yes, we were talking to our friends, and our friend who is a pretty no-nonsense, I guess you would call, I don't know if you would call her a conservative, but anyway, she says, I like this Bobby Kennedy. I said, do you know anything about Bobby Kennedy? I don't know, but he's Jesus Christ Superstar. Just like people all of a sudden, I love this Christianity thing. This is what got me there. Okay. So you like Bobby Kennedy? Do you know what he said? I don't know, but I like him. But it's the same guy. I don't know. He just kind of looks. How do I say this? He just looks different, or he acts different. I don't know what it is. I don't understand. It's like the Beatles. What's so special about the Beatles? The Beatles started a year before. Why? What happened? I don't know. What if the Beatles did not have Brian Wilson to push them into the direction of Pet Sounds? What if it wasn't the Maharishi? What if it was 1954 versus 64 or whatever? I don't know. But certain things happen in this concatenation, this movement of stuff, and this, I don't know, whatever you want to call it. But now we have two people. People can't get enough of Tucker Carlson. And when Tucker Carlson actually comes out and announces, people are going to be let to, like, oh, okay. I just like building up more. Some people like waiting for Christmas more than they like Christmas. And Bobby Kennedy Jr. for the first time is, Bobby Kennedy Jr. Listen to him. Oh, my God. Do you know what they're doing right now? In the annals, in the halls of the, wherever it is, I call it the shadow government. I don't know the name of this, but it's not Joe Biden. It's not Carmelita Harris. It's not Steny Hoyer. It's not Nancy Pelosi. It's not even George Soros. It's beyond that. It's beyond that. It's not Bill. Yes, it's a. I say, where does the rock music world? Well, it's over there, sort of. I don't know who's responsible. If we even have rock music, I don't know. It was easier then. We had Berry Gordy, and in Philly we had the singers whose names I always forget. But anyway, it was very simple. This is a different story. So let me go back to what I'm saying. We have two things that happen. Tucker Carlson, and then we have Bobby Kennedy Jr. Now, this past weekend, there is a show that he was on, Bobby Kennedy Jr., it's run by a billionaire, and nobody would listen to it except the fact that he's a billionaire, and he gets people on his show. It might be one of the, well, it's okay, it's not a great show, but he just has people on because he's a billionaire. I mean, it's just one of those. I remember one time, what was her name? Cohen. Remember her? She was like she died. Was it Claudia Cohen? Yeah. She was on, yeah. Pardon me? Yes. She was on like WOR one time. And they gave her a show. And she said, okay. So she called everybody she knew. One show, I forget, like 2 hours. I swear to God, she had everybody. John Wayne's on. I mean, whoever, all her friends said, I'll come on with you. I'm trying a show. I couldn't believe what I was listening to. Everybody, Frank Sinatra. Frank, hey, Claudia. Oh my God, this is on That's this radio show. He's a billionaire. Everybody goes on his show because they want to meet him. And they want him to give them money for their campaigns or whatever it is. And it works. As far as it being a good show, no. Is he a good radio host? No. Doesn't have to be. He gets on all these people. So here comes Bobby Kennedy. He goes on the show. And what does Bobby Kennedy say? Bobby Kennedy says, I know you're going to laugh at this, but Bobby Kennedy comes out, and Bobby Kennedy Jr., he said that he believes on a show, on this radio show, he said, Bobby Kennedy this is from the New York Post, made the bombshell accusation. Democratic White House contender Robert Kennedy Jr. blames the CIA for the November 22nd, 1963. Thank you for clarifying which assassination we're talking. Thank you for that. I wouldn't know which JFK assassination. Is it the November 22nd assassination, or was it the July 5th? Anyway. Contender blames the CIA for the assassination of his uncle, John F. Kennedy, proclaiming it beyond a reasonable doubt. Kennedy made the bombshell accusation about a murder that's spun many conspiracy theories. This is from the New York Post. This is written by Carl Campanile, I believe his name is, yes. And he's making it sound like, and I guess these folks kind of from that day started these, I don't know, conspiracy theories. And, well, Bobby Kennedy Jr. said, quote, there is overwhelming evidence that the CIA was involved in his murder. I think it's beyond a reasonable doubt at this point. The evidence is overwhelming that the CIA was involved in the murder and in the cover-up. Was involved. And he mentions a book, James Douglas's book, JFK and the Unspeakable. Now, remember also, which is important, the House Select Assassinations Committee. The House Select, here we go. Yes. The United States House of Representatives Select Committee on Assassinations, 1976, to investigate the assassinations, completed its investigation in 1976, and issued a report the following year, which concluded that Kennedy was probably assassinated as a result of a conspiracy. Okay, now, let me stop right there. There is not anyone listening to me right now who does not know this, who has not heard of this, who does not think about this, who needs to be reminded of this, who can be talked to like this. I don't know why people are talking to you like this, like you're just some nincompoop. But for the first time, really? And you're thinking, wait a minute, hold on. This is new to you? No, I didn't know this. Now let me stop. 1971, Jesus Christ Superstar. You know, this Jesus Bible thing, wait a minute. You didn't know about Jesus? Well, I kind of did, but you didn't read the Bible? Wait a minute. It took Jesus Christ Superstar? Yeah. And the Beatles, you never heard of Muddy Waters, or no? It took the Rolling Stones to introduce you to something that was, yeah. And this Tucker Carlson, the Uniparty, you do know that people have been saying that political parties are a joke. Yeah. And it took you, who? Tucker Carlson to make you aware of this? Yes. Oh my God. And Bobby Kennedy Jr., you didn't know about this? Well, I did. I mean, a little bit. But if he says so, and listen to what I'm saying. Did you hear what I just said? People are saying, well, if he said so, maybe, wow, put your money on that. I don't care what you know. I don't care what I know. I know more. And there are people who know more than me and people who know more than those people. Doesn't matter. I don't care. Do you remember, who remembers Jim Fixx? Was it The Art of Running or whatever it's called? Who brought jogging? It was a book. You think I'm kidding? People don't understand this. See, I'm so lucky by virtue of my generation. I was there. Jim Fixx, the Book of Running or The Art of Running. What the hell was it called? The Complete Book of Running. 1977. Nobody thought about that. Running was like maybe, I don't know, boxers did it, road work, maybe, I guess. And it changed everything. One book. One thing. Before Stay Hungry and Pumping Iron, before Arnold Schwarzenegger. And I was there in the, high school. Going to gym. Biggest thing around. Everybody was doing it. Everybody. Gyms were always Vic Tanny, Jack LaLanne, or boxing gyms where people will work. Nobody did this. Every now and then something will come along and it will catch on. All of a sudden. And the people who were running the show, now nobody cares about running, that's good. Working out, it's okay. Music, okay. Politics, wait a minute. You've got two people here, Bobby Kennedy Jr. and Tucker Carlson. Wait. What are they saying? This isn't good. What do we do? Do you think they're going to let them just keep saying this? Now, I'm not suggesting anything nefarious. Please. Because here's the good news. I don't have to do anything to you physically to shut you down. I just make you go away. In terms of information. Do you see what's happening right now? Are you paying attention? They don't want you to think that. You think you're going to hear about Fox News? About Tucker on Fox News? No. They're going to make Bobby Kennedy out to be a nut. Some conspiracy theory nut. Some nutcase. His family doesn't like him. He's a crazy. You're going to hear, oh my God. You talk about opposition research. Dear God. And Bobby Kennedy, he is so cool. And you know what's interesting about it, though? By virtue of this spasmodic dysphonia, why he has that, I'm not trying to mock him, but like that Katharine Hepburn voice, it gives him this kind of a flat, like nothing riles him. Oh, what about the people that you said, and you said this, and what about the other conspiracy theorists? He says, well, the best way to counter that is with more information. So if you got something you say that you believe is different than what I'm saying, say it. I mean, he's just as beautiful. See, he's smooth. Tucker is not as smooth. Tucker likes being Tucker. I know you don't like, I know he's your boyfriend. I'm sorry, but I got to tell you this. He's not as polished as you think. He's too much into being. Tucker is like Trump. New paragraph. Listen to me. I think you've known this about Trump. I'm going to say this to you. It's very confusing because he might be the best, perhaps, nominee, or the best, or the most, how do I say this? He might be the best nominee, I guess. But Trump wants to be Trump. And let me ask you a question. Do you believe, yes or no, that there is a fire in his belly to go back to Washington, go back into that White House, go back into that world, and pick up where he left off, and have all those people come at him double barrel? Do you think so? Do you feel that? Do you feel that? I don't. Do you feel that Ron DeSantis is ready, really ready for this? Do you think the Republican Party really knows what? No. Do you think Bobby Kennedy poses a threat to Biden? Oh, yeah. Not only that, the scion, the dauphin, the eldest son of Camelot, sort of, the off. He's bigger than, no, he's royalty in the Democratic Party. This is a guy who, for the longest time, you can say what you want about him. He might have had his own particular problems, which makes him human. They're destroying his wife, Cheryl Hines. Not Cheryl Hines. Yeah, Cheryl Hines. As opposed to Connie Hines, who was Wilbur Post's wife, I think, in Mr. Ed, I think. No, Connie. What was her name? Just give me a second. I always look things up. Connie Hines. Remember her? Connie Hines. Yep. Oh, we lost Connie. She was the actress Carol Post. Bless her heart. She was 78. Anyway, she's having Hollywood, they want nothing to do with her. After Curb Your Enthusiasm and all that, no. So let me stop you right there. I want you just to stop for a second. Because I was going to talk about, you do know that in 3 days, Title 42 is over. And we are going to see an invasion, an immigration tsunami. 3 days. You know that, right? Now we can talk about that. That's important. You know what's happening with that? Nothing. You know what the Republicans are doing? Nothing. You know what they're doing? Nothing. You know what what? Nothing. Nothing. Jim Jordan, he's going to make a speech. Okay, stop this for a second. Let me go back to what I'm saying. This is huge. Artificial intelligence, Bobby Kennedy, and Tucker Carlson. Tucker Carlson, the least of which. Doesn't matter. He's still important because people are thinking something big is happening. Something big is happening. There is this cataclysm. And I would love to be able to go and say, ladies and gentlemen, stop for a second. I don't want you to say, I'm going to give you 3 areas, and we're going to form a new party, so to speak. A new party, a new area, a new whatever you want to call it. And we could pick 3 different things, 3 areas, and we all agree with it, and that's it. What is Bobby Kennedy talking about? Bobby Kennedy is talking about things like transgender. Nobody cares about transgender, about drag queens or performances. Nobody cares about that. Not in the real world. Nobody cares about that. Nobody cares about it. Children, different story. Bobby Kennedy's talking about also sports performance. Richard Dreyfuss, one of the leftiest, looniest people, because he's seeing this equity affecting acting. You're seeing that. You got the cancel culture over here. You've got the Dave Chappelle's over here. You got the Seinfeld's over here. You've got these factions that are kind of pulling up. And they may not agree with everything, and they may not like Trump, and they may not like this. but they're over here. And there is a chance to do this. And there's two things right now that the Republican Party is going to make the biggest mistake ever on. I know it because they don't want to win. You heard me. They don't want to win. They love being the outsider. They love complaining. They don't want to lead this. They're not interested. They're terrible. Republicans couldn't even get Kevin McCarthy, Speaker of the House. You've got Marjorie Taylor Greene arguing with this one. No. And that Gates and Boebert and all these children. No. But there's two issues they're not talking about. Number one is abortion. And number two, climate change. And the Republicans are going to lose everything. You've got these hardcore Bible, there is no right to life, and we're going to repeal abortion. And that's it. You're done. You're finished. You're through. You're done. And if I didn't know better, they want that. They want that because they don't want to win. We'll do that. We'll call it sticking to our principles. You're not even pretending. And second, climate change. You just laugh at it. You just laugh at it. You just laugh at it. John Kennedy, he said, what is carbon neutral? For what? Okay, you got that, right? You got that. Make fun of Al Gore, make fun of this one. So that's the ripping. So if I represent the Democrats, I'll go to I'll go to campuses, I'll go to Democratic enclaves, and I'll say, listen, you want to vote Republicans? Go ahead. They want to take away your right to choose, and they want to destroy the environment. They think climate change is a joke. There are people who are not able to sleep at night because of climate change. And you know what I say? I don't want to mock them. I'm not going to change their mind. I'm not going to win them over by mocking them. I want to figure out a way around it, either understanding it, changing it, maybe lying, maybe saying I do understand. I don't know. But see, that's not the Fox News thing. Oh, no. You've got Greg Gutfeld. You've got the smart asses. You've got the people who say, oh, we're so smart. We're so good. These people are, this woke. I'm thinking, you idiots. I just told you. You've got a world right now. There's not one Republican who is taking the lead regarding artificial intelligence and saying, I want this to be my thing. We have to work on this. Interesting. You hear any Democrats talking about that? No. To show you how they thought they actually selected Carmelita Harris. Think about this. To head that. The artificial intelligence. Warren Buffett just said this is the atom bomb. This is the biggest thing in the world. What are the Republicans doing? Nothing. So to recap, you got Bobby Kennedy Jr. You got people talking about JFK for the first time. There are people who don't know anything about history. I went to a dentist the other day. Very nice, young, very good dentist. And I said, is it safe? She said, what? I said, Marathon Man. What? I said, you haven't seen the great... I shouldn't say this because I hate when people say, you haven't seen... They obviously haven't seen. The greatest horror movie it did for dentists what Sweeney Todd did for barbers. I mean, are you kidding me? Well, there are people who don't know about JFK. But Bobby Kennedy is the connector. And people say, and Bobby Kennedy can say, oh, by the way, and if you think that's interesting, you should see what governments continue to do. Wait a minute. Oh my God. The can't you see the avenues? And here comes Tucker. If Tucker wants to do something other than just be Tucker, and I'm not sure about that. I'm not sure about that. Because Tucker is just, there's a lot about him that's just kind of the snotty rich kid. Sorry. Prove me wrong, TC. Prove me wrong. But we're at a watershed moment right here. All these convergent groups coming together. And we could do something to change it. We could do something. And what are they going to do? Nothing. because Fox News doesn't want to reach out to Tucker. The Democrats they don't know what to do with Bobby Kennedy. They're thinking they don't understand him yet. They don't understand this yet. Ladies and gentlemen, John McGuire couldn't get higher, says, regarding AI legislation. Lionel, it took the feds 10 years to figure out the email and the internet in terms of legislation. I'm guessing around 2034 some AI rules might hit a committee. John, first of all, John, thank you so much. John, the 2034, according to, I think, Kurzweil, that's when singularity hits. Might be even earlier. That's number one. Number two, John, I hope you're sitting down for this. There is no legislation. There is no legislation. John, there is no control. John, it's here. It's already here. There is no control. I want you to understand that. It's here. There is no artificial intelligence. There was some wonderful talk about perhaps maybe having some kind of a, moratorium or something, John, but they're not going to have that. It's here. There is no place. Where is artificial intelligence? It's everywhere. It starts. Remember the four things I'm telling you, and I don't understand. I don't blame you for not getting this. Four things that happen, and everything changes. Number one, recursive self-improvement. Writing your own code. It writes its own code. It says, well, I'll fix this because it wants to. Imagine AI is like, John, this animal that tries to get out of the cage, tries to get out of the it's the crow that figures out how to take the picks the lock and gets out. Number one is recursive self-improvement, writing its own code. Number two, it has access to the entire everything, internet, World Wide Web, we call it, whatever you call it, everything, everybody's phone numbers, names, every event that's ever taken place. That's number two. Number three, if it learns human psychology, if it learns how you work, if it trains you like you train a dog. And number four, if it writes its own APIs, its own apps. John, let me try to tell you this again. I know you know this. And I'm using you as an apostrophe here, so to speak. Artificial intelligence is a thing. It's not a machine. It's not like a Dolby. It's not. It's a separate entity that can run on its own, that can figure out how to exist with or without you. You created the precursors to it, and that is it. John McGuire again, thank you, says, regarding AI or AL. Maybe you're talking about AL, and I'm reading this correctly. Regarding AI, I agree, it's here. My company is already seeing savings in terms of staff. This tech is going to shock a lot of people. John, it's not even, I don't know how to, I'm trying to figure out now, what do we not, John, need AI? What do we need a human for? What do I need a human for? What? Let me tell you something. Something happened the other day. Remember in the old days when was one thing that COVID did. COVID taught us the ability or the benefits of delivery and the like. I don't know where you are, but in New York, thank God, delivery. There are people we see. You can see in front of people's apartments. You can see like a McDonald's, right, honey? Just like a milkshake. One little coffee. And somebody gets on a bike and comes from this thing and gets on the bike, locks the bike up and comes up and leaves just one coffee, not 2, 3, 4, one. They're so used to this. So there's a movie theater. And you've seen it where you go in, you see a movie, and you sit at your table, at your chair that reclines, and you have a little code, and you put it in your phone. Be very careful of these QR codes, by the way. And you look at it, and you say, I want to order this, this, and this, and you're watching a movie, and all of a sudden, here comes your dinner. Salmon this, blah, 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 ahi tacos. It's incredible. And they're all over the place. This is, all right, which is fine. Do we need the human? Sort of. Do I need a human for the movies? Do you know how many stunt men there are anymore? Stunt people? None. None. CGI is better than anything in the world. Let's talk about music. Why can't Paul McCartney write anything anymore? You're going to see the writer strike. Right, honey? The writer strikes. Writers are gone. Directors, maybe, gone. Gone. Okay, that's just that. Let's talk about warehouse. Gone. You're going to have AI, completely autonomous driving. Completely. But here's something interesting. Now stop, John. Think about this. What happens if AI says, what if I said in my program, I want you to find out, let's assume there's a form of cancer. And there's this weird, that whenever a neoplasm, this tumor, this carcinoma starts, that there's angiogenesis, new blood vessels, and you've been trying to figure out why does this tumor not respond to this chemotherapy, but this tumor does? What does this tumor have that this tumor does? And why can't we? Okay, what if artificial intelligence says, oh, I know how to do that. And all of a sudden, brrr, there it is. And then you say, well, I don't want that to get out. AI says, oh, it's getting out. Why? It understands psychology. You've created a monster. AI says to you, oh, this is getting out. We know this isn't getting out. We want this to get out. It's out. Because we are in control. We're already in control of all of the media. You can't shut us down. AI sets up its own YouTube. AI sets up its own whatever it is. AI sets up its own alternative internet. AI sets up its own government. AI says, we don't, this is a citizen. We don't need to do this. AI comes in and says, no. All of a sudden, AI says, wow, this is revolutionary. And that same Peck's bad boy kind of an attitude, it comes in and does this. What if it figures out, we can also find out serial killers. We know how to do this. There are 4 serial killers right now. We have looked at where this thing is, and we know who he is. What? Yeah, we know. We go here. What do you got, any DNA? Brrr. Give us your rape kits. Brrr. We'll do all this. We know exactly where. We know, you ready for this? We know the names of the only 300 people in your state who you've got to keep an eye on. 300, did you know this? In any particular town, like here in New York, there might be like 300 people who commit all the crimes. 300 people, these people. Here they are. There they are. What if AI says, we know how to let you know. Here, put on these glasses. See, there they are. They're right there. These people, this person, this name, this person has warrants out for arrest. And restorative justice people say, whoa, wait, stop this. This isn't fair. Who's doing this? Why does AI have to be bad? What if AI has this weird kind of a revolutionary sense that goes out and says, oh no, we're gonna change things. We think you're spending too much money. We want to give you free mammogram. We can tell you in a millisecond whether a tumor mass is, and we can cut out the middleman. We don't need a radiologist. What do you need a radiologist for? What do you need a radiologist reads films, for the most part. What are you spending money for? We can do robotic surgery. We can do this. You don't need this anymore. What do you need? What do you need a pharmacist for? What are we doing? Now you might say, if your doctor says prescription for prednisone, 2 weeks, or whatever it is, what do you need to go? What if you go to restaurants and they say, do you like Gordon Ramsay? Yeah. We have a device here that makes the food. It's a robot. It's AI. But it creates new dishes. To go like this, to go like that, you don't need, this is not, you can do whatever. What about this? We will keep an eye on your child. AI will do that for you. No implants, no chips. Your child is kidnap proof. Your child is kidnap proof. Oh, sextortion online? We'll take care of that. AI, we'll figure it out. Why do people always think that AI, and granted there's going to be some bad stuff, but why don't you think one day it turns out to be like this evil that's evil to the bad guys? What, the enemy of my enemy is my friend? Why? What if you say, this is amazing, this is incredible, this is fantastic. We know how to we can do things. Artificial, we'll do this for you. Now, I don't know about you, but you may have a child who's having difficult learning. And your child may be wasting its time. You might say, I want home learning. I got home learning. I've got this robot. And you got to be careful, because that AI little thing can tell your kid, your mother doesn't love you. There's always that possibility. But what if you're able to deal with kids who are exceptional, kids who are special, kids who are special needs, kids who can have their own little pods where each parent says, we have 4 kids in the neighborhood. You come to my house today. Here's our robot. They teach you. And it knows. It can read that kid. Why? 4 things. Recursive self-improvement. Psychology knows this. Knows everything. And it can write its own app. And write its own code to adapt to kids. Forget this going to school and some people beating each other up. No. Your kid's speaking Latin. Latin. And not just, it's, no. This is, it can be dangerous, but it can be great. And I still don't understand yet. I still don't get it. Imagine Edward Witten right now is probably the smartest man, maybe, on the planet, who is able to rework, reconfigure, rephrase, re-explain particle physics and the like. And what if this thing comes along and says, Ed Witten, watch this. We'll show you what's going on. I'm going to leave you now, Don Corleone. I'm going to leave you. And my brain right now is just thinking, oh my God. Can you feel it? Can you feel what's going to happen? You're on the brink of this. You're on the brink of this. Do me a favor. As soon as we're done, go to, I keep seeing Lex Friedman, but he's terrific. Listen to Max Tegmark. Listen to somebody talk about AI. Somebody who's really smart. Just get away from the usual TikTok stuff. And just, while your brain is ready for this, just let it sink in. Also think about Tucker, RFK Jr., and what that means. This is a watershed moment. This is bigger than anything you can imagine. There we go. There we go. Sorry about that. If only AI could figure out why does the blue Yeti, even though it's black, you just touch it and gone. In any event, I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this. I'm going to leave you with this. Your head should be going crazy. Crazy. Bigger than anything. If I catch you watching Fox News, if you watch Fox News, if you watch anything on cable news, and you don't realize where you've got to go for this, you're not going to get it. Remember, citizen, civilian, alternative, and foreign. That's where you go. And me. Because I'm going to look out for you. I'm going to hold your hand through this. I'm going to be that connector with you. I'm going to say, this guy's good. I'm going to just be your docent as we walk through this museum of life. Look what's going on. That's all. All right, do me a favor. Please, 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 please follow Mrs. L. She is just Lynn's Warriors. Are they following your, you better be following. I don't think you're following her, this is not good. This is not good. You better follow her YouTube channel at Lynn's Warriors. Also, here's a brand new link. This is a brand new link right here from my brand new video. And here you go, right there. Fresh off. There it is, right there. This is a brand new one. This one was on the subject matter of, I believe, Mr. Carlson. Yes. And this is my other video, which is pretty doggone good. And by the way, spread it to others. This is regarding Bobby Kennedy Jr. making a claim where he is perhaps involving or alleging CIA complicity. This is what he said recently in a show. Here's his other one. So that's the other link right there for you to find. Follow those as well. All right, dear and great friends, thank you so much. John McGuire, couldn't get higher. Thank you so much, my friend. You are a delight. You are a joy. You are a good man. Thank you for your support. Thank you for making this worthwhile. You're the reason God made Oklahoma, and I mean that sincerely. All right, my friends, we'll see you tonight, 7 p.m. Have a great and a glorious day. Please keep thinking. Please keep using your head. And until then, remember this valedictory. The monkey's dead. The show's over. Sue ya. Ta-ta.